Good morning, and welcome to Game With Us. Our schedule is messed up as usual, but I have some time for some Neverwinter right now, so I'm going to continue where I left off. It looks like our last broadcast was not saved by Twitch. Apparently they're having some trouble, and so, unfortunately, some of that will be forever lost. I've heard they didn't have their archiving on for a couple days, so hopefully today's broadcast will be saved. But the main things I'm going to be doing today, I want to check out the Foundry. I've been very steadily learning how to craft a quest in there, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time messing around with that, and then I'm going to go ahead and try and do some of the old quests sitting in my quest log. Quest log is starting to look a little ridiculous, actually, because I am level 32, and some of the quests are level 14. Very, very depressing. But I'm going to try and bust them out. Anyway, let's switch over to the game. And for anybody who hasn't been playing Neverwinter, the Foundry, you have to enter it from the character select screen, which you see down here at the bottom. And it's pretty cool so far. When I first looked at it, I was extremely confused. I was like, okay, I've never really used a level builder before, and so I'm essentially starting from square one at not understanding how these things work. So I looked around for some tutorials on the web and found a couple, but they were already so high level they just assumed that everybody knew what they were doing. So I just sort of have been diving in and experimenting with it, and so far I've managed to figure out how to get a quest started where the character can pick up the quest and then go to a building where there's an NPC that they start talking to start the quest, which for me is pretty good considering I have no idea what's going on with this thing. So, as you can see in here, some of this stuff is outdated. I put a summary in here, but I think it's going to change by the end of it. It's not quite going to be exactly as I have in here, but just as a rough guideline, I'm doing a quest about a bard who has been captured, and his friend would like you, the adventurous type, to go rescue him. So, very typical kind of quest. So what I have so far is the beginning map and the NPC. It is amazing how much time it took me to get to this point. And then of course I have another map transition where you can leave the place where you talk to the NPC. One of the things I have to do, because I started out with a custom map, is I need to actually go in here. This is the inn that I've created. I need to go in and actually put furniture in and make everything look like a building, and that's something that I do not know how to do yet. It looks like it might be fairly straightforward because this is a list of objects over here, and I think I should be able to just look at these things and pick some stuff to go in here. You can see there's stuff like banners and let's see, there's a bar back wall. I have no idea how to actually place these things, so but it's pretty interesting. I've got everything working up to this point. Here's my NPC. Here's where the person enters when they come in, and of course here's where they exit when they leave. So far this level builder thing is actually pretty cool. I think I might, once I get the hang of it, I think I'll be doing maybe some more complex quests. But at this point, I'm just trying to do a very basic kind of cliche quest where you've got somebody who needs you to go rescue someone, and once you do, you get a reward. It's very simple. Amazingly enough, the amount of work required to make it quality at all is pretty it's pretty intense. Like here's what the dialogue tree looks like, and for anybody who's used a quest editor before, you've probably seen this kind of stuff. Essentially you start having the NPC talk, and then you give people options. I'm not giving that many options because it gets pretty nuts and you end up repeating yourself a lot. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this a little simple to start, but there's actually paths in the dialogue where if you go down them, then you have to start over with the NPC because you're basically telling them, well, hey, I don't want to accept your quest. It's kind of like, why are you there if you're not going to accept the quest? But I'm giving people the option to say, I don't think so. Just never mind. Then let's see, what else do we have? We have the costume tab. This is my first NPC that I've created, Simon Fields. which is kind of a character that I use in other stuff. Just a very generic name, I thought, for this guy. And it allows you to customize what they're wearing, what colors everything is. It's pretty cool, actually. So I just kind of made him look like a little fancy. He's wearing sort of wizard gear, but there really wasn't anything in there that fit him. Because technically this character is also supposed to be a bard, but there really wasn't anything in there. And there could be something if I dig a little bit deeper, but I haven't really found anything. So this looks good. Looks like he has some money, and he actually takes baths, gets paid for something, and that's about it. So there's the first NPC. And here we've got some items. Hey Raytac, how are you this morning? Got your message about the indie sites. Man, I need to compile a list of all my indie sites. I've actually been thinking about putting a post on our Steam forums, because every once in a while I'll let everybody know when stuff's on sale, when the bundles come out. But it would be kind of cool if we had a comprehensive list of like all of them, because there's so many. And I don't think I've ever actually bought anything from Gala, but I bought stuff from Royale and Humble Bundle, and I mean just so many. Indie Game Stand. It's like you were saying, games, it's not an issue of whether or not they're expensive or not. It's the time to play them, right? So anyway, guess, let's see, what are these? No, quest specific items. I need to actually do this. I have to make a key, and I guess I'll be getting into that soon. But I think the next thing I want to work on is actually fleshing out this inn to give it character and to make it less empty. Because I can show you right now, this has a tool where you can actually go and test your quest to make sure it's working from any stage it's actually complete, or complete enough to make sense. Like you have to have the building, you have to have the map, you have to have the NPC, or whatever it is that actually like structures what you're doing. And in this particular case, I have the building. So I can go in there and I can take a look at it using a test character. So what we have here is just, they just start you out with a generic test character. You can respec these things and mess with them. But this is the inn. It's a default structure. At this point, since I'm keeping it simple, I did not want to go in and just create everything from scratch. I didn't want to do like a whole new building. So I'm just going to take what they have here. As it is, I have to place items because you can see it's a pretty boring inn right now. Nothing's happening. But your character will go in here, and you're supposed to look for Simon Fields. And at this point, I have him in this room, standing here, and then he's got this dialogue that he begins. And what's cool about the dialogue, you can actually have your character, your NPCs, do emotes. So depending on how they're speaking to the person watching, they can do different things. Like he's gesturing, come over, and it's pretty cool. But I do have a couple cancels in here in case somebody wants to go explore, because I'm actually going to put more NPCs in here, other people they can talk to, and they may not want to talk to Simon first. They may want to go and talk to everybody else, so you can just cancel and get out of there. Once you have a successful dialogue with him, though, it's time to move on. So this default character is kind of hilarious. And then at that point, you can exit out. What's cool about the Foundry quests, if you ever decide that you're doing one and you haven't, like at this point, you can't leave until you're finished. But if you want to leave and you're like, well, this quest kind of sucks, you can always use this return to the last map button, and that just gets you out immediately. So Planet Explorers. Man, did they just release another version of Planet Explorers? I haven't been following it too closely this week. Apocryphile and I decided to support it, and we're really looking forward to some of their new builds. Hey Apocryphile, where is the ham? I don't know. There's ham in here somewhere. I need some ham. So anyway, I'm not in need of testing my dialogue right now, so I'm just going to go back to the Foundry. What the good part about this, I guess, is checking out this room. I need to decide where I'm going to put things, and I wonder if I can add more lighting. Like, it's pretty dark in this corner and in this corner. Let's see, I've got some steps over here. What's upstairs? Let's see, we just got a balcony, looks like. And look at this, another room. God, this inn is huge. I think I'm just going to be putting some very basic stuff. I have to cover up some of these doors too. Maybe I'll just close in some of the doors and make them so people can't interact with too much stuff in here, because this is a huge building. I might have to rethink it. Maybe I should make a smaller inn. But for now, that's one of the things I want to do. Not as of yet. Yeah, I played the most recent alpha that they have, but I haven't checked to see when their next build is coming. I think, isn't it like 0.6 or something like that? Where will I put the ham? I actually hope that there is ham, that there's some kind of like food I can put in here. Let's see, because I've got, let's see, bar stools. Alright, I only want, let's see, let's look at generic items, maybe? We got village items, I guess. Why doesn't it have, it should have like tavern. I think I have to leave all on. Ripped sewers, let's see. Yeah, because barstool, it's not in here anymore, I don't think. Wait, let's get up to B. Bird feathers. Okay, we got some weird stuff in this list. So it looks like I have to keep any selected, which is going to make the searching a little bit more difficult, but I know what I'll do. In this inn, I will have a sole bar stool right in the middle of the entranceway that you can knock over, and that will be it. 5-5 with multiplayer. Oh, cool. Because I know their builds have still been open in Planet Explorers. They're letting people play their alpha up until, I guess, yeah, like you're saying, 0.6 is when supporters only are going to have access to it. It looks like a pretty cool project. I'm excited over it. It's a graphically better Minecraft, essentially, with quests and stuff. So it looks pretty neat. Let's see. Let's look at H. Let's see if there's any ham in here. My god, there's so much stuff. I really have to fight the urge to keep this super complicated, because this first one I really want it to be simple, to just actually make a successful quest, learn how the Foundry works, and then my second one might be a little bit more ambitious, because I'm sure there's always going to be stuff in here I don't understand how it works until I've become better at it, and by then I might have lost interest. So let's see, I cannot even get to H. Alright, there's no ham. There might be food though. Let's go back up to F. I'd have to look at plates. So I'm getting ahead of myself, putting food on tables. There's no tables in here yet. Let's see. And all these effects, this is pretty cool. This is gonna be like sparklies and things to make the world look alive, like furnace fire. Like I need to actually probably put a live fire. There's a fireplace in here, and I'm not sure exactly where it is because of the way these floors look. This could be over top of it. If that is the fireplace, then I have to actually light the fire. Alright, here we're getting close to it. Let's see, F, O, G, F, fog, no food. So who knows where the food is in here. Yes, this is the current Neverwinter that is free to play at the moment, and today I'm messing with the Foundry, which is their quest builder. Once you hit level 15 in the game, it opens up and you can start building your own quests for the public or your friends. And so, since I don't have a lot of experience with level builders, I'm essentially looking at this kind of as a learning experience, because I do enjoy this sort of thing. I've never really built anything, though I've thought about it and I have some good ideas for quests and stories. I just don't have the knowledge working with these builders, so I've been taking the opportunity with Neverwinter, so because they've got a free one in here, I might as well look at it. Because once Grim Dawn comes out, which is another game that they're going to have a level builder in, I want to be able to make stuff in there too. And of course it's not going to be the same engine, but the idea is similar on how they work. So yeah, this is pretty open-ended. I can put all kinds of stuff in here if I wanted to. I can make it completely weird. I can just have an encounter in the middle of this inn. Essentially, my character is starting in the main city where everybody is. I think it's called the Protector's Enclave or something like that, I don't know. But anyway, everybody starts there, so it's easy. They'll be able to find the quest. They essentially go into a door inside the town, and it's actually this inn where the quest takes place. So it's really neat. They gave a lot of functionality to your custom quests. A little confusing, a little hard to get used to. Like, it took me forever, for example, with this storyboard, to understand this objective library, like even getting this to appear, I had to have a map that was working, and now I can start adding stuff to the map once I have this. And I still don't understand all of these different categories, so just a lot of learning, a lot of stuff. I spent about probably 3 hours working on this earlier today, and I thought, well, I've gotten fairly far for 3 hours and not knowing what I'm doing, so well, thank you very much, Apocryphile, for coming in, talking about ham. You can go about your merry way, I suppose. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee. Bakak. See ya. Alright, let's see. So just as an experiment, I would like to add something in here. Let's go down, let's find tables, because I'm sure there's got to be tables in here. I'm also going to need, I'm assuming, beds. Just simple bed. Does this simple bed really not have a mattress? Do I have to add a mattress? Look at that, it looks like it's kind of empty, doesn't it? Alright, so let's scroll down here. Small table, here we go, we've got some tables. Small, look at that, it's not even grouped with other tables. Like, how would I even know where this was? There are probably 1,000 items in this list, maybe thousands plural, I don't even know. Okay, table, kitchen, table, dining, here we go. Table, tavern. Ooh, look, this one has food on it already. Maybe that's what I want, because I guess technically this is an inn, but it could function also like a tavern. Most of my quests, this particular quest chain is going to take place in taverns and inns, just because that's the easiest thing to do. Starting with the simple quest, let's see. A long tavern table with 2 benches. Table has various tavern props on its surface. There's one that does not. It's just a regular dining table. I guess I could make the inn look more like a place for board instead of you know, more of like a drinking place. These really look similar though. It probably doesn't matter. Look, a table on fire. That's what I need. That'll make things exciting. I think I just need a normal table. Alright, so you drag this over and essentially put it where you want. Now this is going to be the hard part because quite honestly I'm not even sure where to put things. Let's see. Oh, there it is. You can see the shape of it. Wow, it's huge. Okay. So you can rotate that around. That actually might be a little too large for this room. Huh. That was larger than I was expecting. Okay, well, I do need a table in here. This is not his room. I might actually move him more to a bedroom or something. Let's see. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, let's put that out here. Under this light. I think it's under a light. All right, so we have a table now. That was the table tavern. Let's see how big the dining room table is. Oh, look, it's much smaller. So we could actually put a couple in here if we wanted to. Dining table. We could have one. Let's see, how big is the simple table? Maybe we've got a table in here that's empty. Oh, wow, that one's kind of small. Just delete stuff you don't want. Let's see here. Table, dining. Alright, let's just put a second one in here. I don't know if there's enough space in here for all this excitement we have. I'm sure I'm putting these too close together. Maybe I should put them on these sunbeams. Everybody loves to sit in the sun when they're eating, especially if it's directly in their eyes. So that's what we're going to do to our adventurers. A6 cubed. The great and powerful ham. Just, when I see your name, when I see 6 cubed, sometimes I think about cubed ham. I have to admit, it's true. It's hard not to think about ham, quite honestly. Alright, so let's go up here, see if we can find chairs. I'm assuming the chairs are around C. Maybe not. Maybe it's wooden chairs. See, this is the kind of stuff, after I learn this, I'm going to know where things are a little bit more. But, I mean, look at how much crap is in here. And I don't... let's see. Furniture. Oh, I can. Let's do it this way. Here we go. I forgot to look at this second sorting thing altogether. Alright, so we're going to do any furniture. This should make it substantially easier to find stuff. Okay. So, chair, simple, burning chair. That's inappropriate right there. Dining chair. Ah, here we go. So, I guess I would just want normal chairs. Man, this level of detail is actually pretty ridiculous. Can't tell which direction these chairs are facing, so this could be, oh wait, you can sort of. You have to really zoom in. If you look, you can see there are these, I guess it's like a light, which direction things are facing. It's really hard to see. It's yellow, but this chair right now is facing this way, up this way. So if I turn it this way, it's properly facing the table. Now that is the level of detail that this thing is giving you with your building of the rooms. Let's see. I want that to be squared up. That is a lot of detail. Well, this is a free-to-play MMO. It is fantasy-based and in the Forgotten Realms D&D world. So if you're familiar with Forgotten Realms and Neverwinter and D&D and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of familiar things, familiar gods, cities, that sort of thing. It's your typical, hey, there's elves and dwarves and they have skills and they go out and kill monsters. It's got some pretty unique features though. One of the things I like about it is their skirmishes. Whoa, look at that. What happened? Now that I'm this far zoomed in, look, you can actually see a grid. I did not know that a grid was possible. Alright, well, let's turn this chair around. At this point, I don't really care about exact placement of things. I don't care if that's a little uneven or misaligned. The idea is just to try and figure out how all this stuff works. So, we got some chairs. I guess we could space that one out one more. And that's so beautiful. Beautiful and all lined up. I wonder if I can put the chairs in that people can knock over. There's actually stuff in the world that you can, like barrels and chairs, you can just kind of kick them over as you run by, which is really weird. Because most MMOs, you don't really interact with your environment. It's very, it's all just there. Like, a lot of MMOs don't even have doors. This game actually does have a few doors that you can click on, depending on what you're doing. Alright, so we have a table with dining chairs. Now, this one has benches down here. This was a, let's see. This one already has seats, so I don't need to put seats on here. Alright, well, let's save it real quick, and as a test, I think I can I play map from here? Oh, I can. Just right-clicked on it. I'm learning all the shortcuts so I don't have to go back to other screens. I actually want to see what this looks like running around with my test naked adventurer, so we'll test out what's going on in here, see how cool it looks. Probably looks very stereotypical. At this point, simplicity is what I'm going for. Ah, here we go. Okay, so that's kind of like right in the middle of the floor. These beams are a little hard to see on that overhead map. I'm so glad they let you test this kind of stuff because I can't imagine just making one of these adventures and then just letting people test it for you without ever looking at it. Because, I mean, what if things don't work? You know, what if you put the table too close to your adventure, or like here? Like, see, this is a little close to the wall. You know, I don't want my adventurers to have to like bump into this or even walk over it to get through there if that's where they want to walk. So this table either needs to go long ways, which I might do that, or away from that pillar just a little bit. Okay, so let's go in here and check out this other stuff that we put down. What in the hell is wrong with these chairs? I look at they're in the floor. Okay, I have to figure out how to move them up, because that I don't know. Alright, let's see, what does Control Tab do? Let's see. Let's see. Edit distance. Can I move it up from here? It is this green arrow, I think. Go. Okay, so well, this is this is a level of detail I'm not sure if I'm prepared to deal with this. I don't know. You can see which plane they're on. I wonder if it could be rotated. Let's say E. That's what I want to do. I mean, like, you've got all these all these very specific tools. See how hitting against the ground. What if I want to turn it? Oh wow. No, I don't want to turn it that way. Essentially, all these lines do something different. Oh, here we go. I thought I turned all these chairs properly. There are some weird looking chairs. Honestly, I'm not even sure that I like the way that looks. Wait, let this process really quick. Now they're all like in the floor. So that'll be motivation for me to not add very many chairs, because if I have to go in manually and add every single one, like why did they start out so deep in the floor? You know, I bet there's a setting when I put them down, I need to adjust it and tell it something like floor level. I'm going to look at that again, because there is no way that each, I mean the table's too far down too. So it's starting too low in the floor. So I'm pretty sure that's not right either. Alright, so let's see, Control Tab. There's the table. Yeah. Look at that. Alright, so basically everything, I have to figure out what that is. Let's just look at this with it turned off. Yeah, this, if you like D&D, and if you've ever DM'd and created an adventure, the tools I'm seeing in the Foundry are so robust that you can create almost any kind of adventure you want to. I mean, you can create an adventure that has no combat if you want. Because right now, I don't have any combat at this point yet. I just have the beginning. This is the place that we're starting in, and I'm sending people to talk to this NPC, and he has a fleshed out starter dialogue for the quest. But the level of detail here in what you can add is pretty immense. And there's so many things I can add to this room. You can decorate it however you want. And the NPCs too, like this guy was completely, he was created by me. You can change the hair, you can change the way they look, what they wear. You know, you can change the gestures that they make. For example, I was showing this earlier. See, when he starts talking, he waves his arms because he's saying, hey, you, come over here. You can set him to do that. You can actually tell him, do this one-time emote. And I have other ones set to him when you're talking to him as well. So, alright, well, let's get out of here because I want to see if there's a default setting to move these items up automatically, because placing an item and having it be in the floor like that cannot possibly be right. And this is the first time I've done this, so I'm learning how to set these things by default. Alright, let's see. Alright, it's definitely something to do with this. Room platform. Y-axis is the up and down axis, so I wonder if that might be it. Okay, well, let's do a simple test here. Let's just, I don't know what the, because I mean, I don't know what the relative room platform or floor would be. Like, how would I even know that? So 0 altitude is not probably right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set all these to room platform just as a test and see if that is doing what I want it to do. So let's just go back in it. And again, anybody who has more experience with me than I do with builders would know what this kind of stuff does. But I have almost virtually no experience with quest builders. So I'm doing this to learn and also to have a little bit of fun with it. So let's see what we've got here. It looks pretty cool. I mean, honestly, I'm just looking forward to Grim Dawn. I want to be able to create levels in there. Oh, hey, this looks good. Okay. Did I forget to set this one chair? I think I missed this chair right here. As is obvious. How did this happen to this chair? How did it get down here? There must be a way to do it from in here too. But now I've got to rotate all these chairs around again. See, this one's too high because I already adjusted it. So the idea would be to set it to the floor level before you come in and adjust anything, and then you would come in and just tweak it and make sure everything is in the right spot, because this table looks good. Everything is against the floor. I actually want things to be against the floor, and I don't want some weird possessed chair like this thing. So let me see if there's a way to just, let's see. It doesn't look like you can actually just set anything to that floor level in here. It's all very, it's not very detailed, I guess. And I used to play the original Neverwinter Nights, and I've not really gotten into the second one as much. I have it, but I've been kind of holding off on playing it because I was thinking it might be fun to play with Apocryphile. But the first Neverwinter Nights, man, I used to join all those weird servers that people would make with their custom quests. So cool. I belonged to a server for a while where I was getting really close to making quests, but all I was doing at the time was designing gods and designing terrain and maps and things for the area for the people that were working the actual server. Like, I never got involved in the creation tool, but I had illustrated some stuff for them because they wanted unique gods and, like, just, unique lore. They weren't really going to use a lot of Neverwinter stuff in that world, so it was pretty cool. My next step would have been to do some quests myself, but unfortunately, as groups like that go, drama happened between people that I didn't even know, and the server sort of died out. So it was kind of a shame, but it was really fun to begin with. Drama is really harmful to communities. Like, I really appreciate people that make an effort to get along with each other and not cause that kind of stuff. 'Cause we can all learn from each other. I have no idea even what happened, so this table is probably, I can just leave it alone because it looks like it's sitting at the right level at this point. But look at that, I can move, is that the food or is that what is that? Oh, that's the table square itself. Okay, so I can't move the stuff on the table, it's pretty much stuck. Okay. This brings out my inner nerd in a way that I can't really explain because I'm a storyteller. I really enjoy coming up with original plots and just ideas. It kind of sucks a little bit using Neverwinter as a basis. It's good and it's bad. It's good because it's their intellectual property, and anything that I write, I should probably try to theme it towards Neverwinter, so that it doesn't matter if it's my original stuff or not. But it kind of sucks because any of my original stuff I don't want to put in here, except for maybe a couple character names. I'm going to put some of my lesser NPCs in here just to make a brief mark on the world. But, okay. So we've got that. Let's go back to the Foundry and look at the map again. Let's see, Alt. But this is pretty cool. I mean, you can spend hours and hours just on just one map. The level of detail that you put in here is up to you. It's how much time you spend. I mean, you guys saw it was blank at the beginning. Like, I could just have somebody run into this inn, I could have a guy standing in the front and says, "We're under construction right now, why are you here?" "Oh, I'm looking for Simon Fields." "Oh, that elf, he's in the back." That kind of stuff, and I could send somebody back there. But I think I'm gonna actually flesh this out. But it's not a bad idea. If you don't have time to fill in an area, you can give a reason why it's empty, I would probably do that with a smaller room, though, because this is pretty incredible. Right now, I don't understand. Here's something that's kind of a conundrum, because you guys can see the way that, like, this is the way stuff is facing. And it definitely worked with Simon, because when I first put Simon in, he was facing against the wall, and it took me a couple minutes to realize that there was this, I don't know, field of vision that things have. So what is the front of the chair? I mean, that's an interesting question. Which chairs are correct? Did I correct this chair? Let's see. It's, field of vision that it's facing, it's kind of odd. That one is correct with the field of vision being to the left, but it's not actually. That doesn't make any sense at all. Why you want to test stuff, I guess. And not every chair has to be perfect, because you can imagine an inn, somebody probably forgot to push in their chair, or, maybe the serving people forgot to come through and clean stuff up. I mean, there's food on this table. I'm probably going to have to put some NPCs in talking to each other, so things are realistic. Maybe I'll have some references to Star Wars, because that's my favorite thing to do. Working in Star Wars quotes from the original movie that actually work in the plot that I'm doing, so that everybody goes, "Yeah, I know that. Hey, that actually works." I might do that. It's just silly stuff. But yeah, 6 Cubed, if you get into this game, it is free to play, and if you want to do Foundry quests, you have to make it to level 15, which quite honestly is really easy. If you try to level, you probably could get to 15 without too much trouble in 5 or 6 hours, and that's probably a little bit laid back, because there's actually quests designed by people in the Foundry to level you a little quicker, where you can kind of kill the same monsters over and over again. They recently nerfed the XP, though, and so they nerfed it so that right now, Apocryphal and we're testing it a little while ago, and you can only kill the first 3 monsters of the same type in a situation like that, and then you have to reload the quest. But it's pretty lucrative, and from what I've seen, the patch notes today, they're going to fix that a little bit. So apparently they over-nerfed it a little bit, which is fine. So they're still fine-tuning stuff. Alright, so that chair is facing here, and that's to the left. My god, this is spatial stuff that I don't know if it's going to work. Let's try facing up on that one. I I wish I could actually see the chair. Can I see the chair? You know, actually, I think I can a little bit. Let's see. This one looks like if I turn it like that, it should be facing the right way. So that would mean that this one would be the opposite. I don't know, I can't quite tell where the seat part of the chair is. Even zoomed in, it's kind of... This is as close as we can get. We can't really see the detail of where the seat of the chair is. Right. So we've got the field of vision, for lack of a better term, facing up on that one and down on this one. So I'll just make that one down. And let's see, this one, theoretically, this way should be right. These builders always have weird nuances that you have to get used to, and I think that's pretty much what's happening with me right now. So I'm learning, and you guys see how basic this is for me. I don't know anything about this. I'm kind of winging it. To get to this point, it actually took me, I looked at this before, and I spent about a half hour looking at it, and I was so tired, and my brain was just like, I don't know, it was like, no, don't learn a new thing right now. I couldn't figure out even where to get the objects from. I didn't know, hey, I have to make a map, and then I can start placing objects. It just was it was too much. There's a lot to it. Alright, let's see. Oh my god, I did it right. Look. It's right. Okay, so all the chairs are there. It looks good. It's very fancy and put together. Might have to stagger a chair. That looks a little... It looks too fancy almost. As usual, I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. And I don't even know what this is. This doesn't look good right here. This plate of whatever that is. I guess it's some kind of bread or some kind of meat and some kind of green looking sauce. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a fan of green looking sauce. I don't know what it is about it. I'll try it, but it makes me a little wary that there's something in there that's a little weird. Oh, you have a story? Let me see. What's your story, Raytech? Joined a Neverwinter server that was running your country. After a while, you decided to start doing monthly meetup dinners. That is pretty cool. You actually ran into somebody that you knew from 10 years ago. Dude, that's cool. I never expect to have that level of success with that sort of stuff. I keep hoping that I will run into somebody that I used to play EverQuest with. And so far, I haven't. I don't know if these people have changed usernames or what, but I really haven't seen anybody. The closest to a story like that I have is I used to run some message boards back in the day, and just recently, by complete accident, I found somebody on Twitch who was in a channel. I think they were watching, it might have been Talutha. I don't actually remember who they were watching, but they were in the same channel. Their nickname was the same. It was a very unique nickname, and I was like, you wouldn't happen to be so-and-so from this particular place, would you? It turns out it was the same girl, and I haven't heard from her in probably over 10 years. So that's the closest story I have to finding someone online that I haven't seen in a long time. And it was completely by accident. She was totally shocked. It was weird that you would end up in the same place because it was not a game related forum. It was not that sort of thing. So yeah, this looks pretty good here. You want that bread 6 cubed? Well, cool. I'm glad you saw it on Facebook. I try to keep stuff interesting on Facebook without spamming. So I figure when we go live, I try to remember to post there. And then anything that's relevant that we've been talking about, like games we're playing or just stuff we're doing, I try to put on there. But man, some people go so overboard with Facebook. That is not my goal. Like, I do not want to have like 50,000 posts a day on there because people will just be like, oh my god, spam, and then ignore it. Okay, here's something else we can try that might be interesting. Let's try to put a lit fire in the fireplaces. We've got one there, and we've got, you know what, let's go in here. Look at this. This is odd. This place is not furnished, and I did not put this in here. This is the kitchen, I'm assuming. And for some reason, it's already got a kitchen table, which, you know, I'll take that. It's less work for me. But there's no oven or anything in here. But I think we've also got a fireplace in this room, so let's put one. Let's see if we can light this fire. It's always more comfortable to have a lit fire. Let's see. And there's one in this room. Alright, so we've got at least 2 we can try. So let's do that. Let's go back to the Foundry. I'm gonna save what I've done here because apparently turning those chairs in those directions worked. How basic is this, you know? Just like, yeah, I turned the chairs the right direction. Oh my god. So, yeah, that's funny at Raytech. I don't know if I would want to run into an X from 10 years ago. That is a good reason to drink. Not that one needs too many reasons to begin with, but you know, you take what you got. Alright, let's see. So we've got. Let's look at effects. I'm assuming this should be effect and effect. Crystal explosion. Man, I'm tempted to just put some of these in to see what they look like. Let's see, death fire. Maybe, you know, it might be under light. This might not be right. Oh, here we go. That's a fire. It doesn't say what kind. I need an indoor fire that's not. I'm gonna pick like the total wrong one the first time. It's gonna be this ginormous explosion. This furnace fire might be what it's supposed to be. And that's not really, it's not a furnace, it's a fireplace, but, or a hearth. Let's see if they use the word hearth in here. Large shooting fire, that's what I need. Lava geyser! Nothing says, welcome home, than your own personal lava geyser. Okay, no, we won't do that. That seems inappropriate. Inappropriate lava geyser is inappropriate. Magical columns. God, a lot of this stuff seems pretty cool, actually. 6 cubed, I don't know which thing you're thinking I should do, but I don't know. Lava? We should go with lava. I think I'll put the lava in just so we can look at it somewhere. Let's drag it like over here. That should be interesting. We'll see what it looks like. So I'm curious. I have a feeling that when I do this, I'm gonna have lots and lots and lots and lots of tests just to see what stuff looks like. Cause I mean, this furnace fire, I don't know. I mean, okay, I can't really put it in the middle, so that's not gonna look right at all. I don't know. Maybe it will. Let's go look. Let's just go. Let's look. Yes, so do I. I want to see what it looks like too. Your own personal shooting lava geyser. That's what you need. Oh god. Hey, wait a second. It only went once? Did you see it over there in the corner? It just kind of went and then stopped. Will it kill me? Oh god, there it is. That's hilarious. Let's see if it kills characters. This would be a bad thing to forget to take out. I mean, cause see, it's staggered. Alright, it's not killing me. I don't know if I'm in God mode, though. It might actually kill people. Like, if they're in here and they're talking to Simon Fields, it would pretty much scare the shit out of you. Oh my god, what is that in the corner? Lava. And this kind of looks like my house is on fire. Well, maybe it needs to go back one more. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's enable 3D editing and see what we can do. Can we move this fire somewhere less obnoxious? Alright, let's use the, I guess, how is this the x-axis? It's kind of hard to tell which, because we got a blue one that looks similar. Let's move it. I don't know. How far back should we move it? It seems pretty far. Not even sure that we can see it anymore. Alright, well, let's see what that does. Let us finish 3D editing and reload that. Talking to that guy, then lava! My hair is burning! That would actually be kind of cool. This game has the funniest animation when you catch on fire. You catch on fire and you start like patting yourself out everywhere and pretty much panicking. Alright, that was too far. We moved it out of the room. Let's see. Kind of curious. Yeah, that's worse. I would say that's worse placement right there. I might have the wrong fire. That kind of looks right though. I guess I just moved it a little too far. So, can I reach that from here? Yeah. All right. Let's bring it back. Oh man, it just looks. I don't know. It looks like too much. All right. Let's put it. Man, it's so weird. It just doesn't look like it's sitting where it's supposed to be. Let's look at this one again. Doesn't that look like it's too far out? Maybe there's like a lot of space around it or something. I don't know. This is a great place to be standing when testing fire, by the way. Hey Osiris, we are testing out the Foundry, and we got it in our heads that we wanted to see the giant, what was it called? The lava, essentially. Oh man, look, that's pretty close. It probably needs to come forward like another square. Okay. But look, over here, we basically have this shooting lava geyser or something. So we were joking about standing here talking to this NPC and then, oh shit, lava! I mean, it's dangerous in this corner of my inn. You have to be very careful while you're in here because it's not meant for all people. Demons only, maybe. Alright, let's see. I need to stand in a good spot so that this 3D looks right. Let's bring it out like just... Oh. This is so hit or miss. I have no idea where to put this stuff. I can test it for you with the lava. Go walk into it. I was talking about the way that people look when they're on fire too. We were laughing about that the other day. It is so hilarious when your character catches on fire, and they just flail around and they do the exact thing that you're not supposed to do if you catch on fire. Like if you catch on fire, normal, sane people know that you're supposed to stop, drop, and roll, right? That's what they teach you in the US anyway. They probably have fancy phrases all over the place on how to put yourself out, or, you know, dive into the nearest pool or some water or whatever. There are ways to put yourself out. It's called deprive the fire of oxygen, right? Okay, the people in this game, they run around patting themselves out, fanning the fire. I mean, they're like, your hand does not have enough real estate if your whole body is on fire to try and put it out. Maybe for like a second, but it's going to come right back because you're also flailing and running around, therefore feeding the fire with all the oxygen you're giving it. So it's just, it actually looks really hilarious. It looks like Apocrypha was saying that they should just then run off a cliff, because that would be perfect, actually. So, oh, I could test the Foundry for you. Okay. Well, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm learning it. I know nothing about the Foundry. I have about probably 4 hours of knowledge of using it, and very little, probably close to nothing, in experience in building levels in any other game. I haven't actually done any design. I've always wanted to, because I don't think that I would be bad at it. I've just never taken the time to learn an editor, so I figured this was a good one to start with. Also, it looks like we got the fire in the right place. Let's go look on the other side. Let's see if the wall is burning. Oh no, the wall's still burning. What the hell do they want you to do? Okay, I've got to have the wrong fire. Furnace fire is probably not the right one. We're gonna have to look for something else, even though that looks so close. It's logs. There's gotta be a way. Yeah, that's the problem. It is too far forward. Like the flame is still coming out of it. That's why I think we probably have the wrong one. I should have just put the lava in here. That's what I should do, because it's very comfortable. Alright, so we're gonna go back to the Foundry, and I'm gonna look at the list. We'll look at it again, see if there's a better fire, because I think this one might be a little too big. Oh wait, can you make it smaller, I wonder? Alright, so we've got it at... I have to remember to try and do room platform on all these things, because otherwise things are going to be hanging around in the air, which we've experienced earlier. So let's see, position, rotation. Good morning, Urbo. How are you this morning, man? Let's see. Display priority, don't care about that. There's the object. Let's see, visible player has skill. None of this stuff matters. Can you imagine? My fire spotting skill is 2. I rolled a 1. I don't see a fire. Like, that would be terrible. I'm glad there isn't such a thing in D&D. So I would always be rolling something terrible. Yes, lava geyser, that's what we have over in the corner. We might just keep a lava geyser as our mascot until we're done in here. So let's get rid of this. There doesn't look like there's a size. Can't change the size of the fire, so it's not furnace fire. Ooh, what's this? Gas jet. That sounds just as good as the lava geyser. Let's put that in this corner. Awesome. Okay. My inn is the safest inn ever. Let's see. Fiery cloud, puffs, fiery puffs, outdoor, blah blah blah. What is all this stuff? Well, there's just this small fire. This is probably what I need. I really wanted to have a more impressive fire, but I think maybe this is the right one. I don't know. Let's see if this one... Oh wait, before we do that, I have to remember we're going to put everything always at room platform. Zero altitude is a little bit lower than the floor in here, so let's let's go back in and look at it again. Best in. There is so much detail, Osiris. You pretty much can do anything you're thinking of with this thing. And you can have quest items. I think the one thing they limit people on, and it makes sense, is you can't hand out specific loot. I mean, because that's basically cheating. So, it looks pretty good though. I'm sorry to hear that you're so bogged down, Orbo, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you can spare a few minutes to hang out with us. What in the hell? Look at this thing. Gas jet. Boy, that looks poisonous. Okay, well, I hope that doesn't affect the quality of the food over there. Oh my god, look at this fire. See, now that's just a regular fire. Are we seeing any logs in there? Let's go over to it and zoom in a little bit. Or is that just fire? Well, I don't know. I guess there's some logs in there. Okay, well this might work then. Yeah, that looks good. My god, my hair! I wish it would light my NPC on fire, my test character, because that would be really great. I might have to go make an NPC and set his emote to on fire so that you guys can see it. I don't even know where to find that, but we could try to find it. Alright, so let's see. We want to enable 3D editing, and let's see. I guess we're going to try and move it back a little bit first. I'm going to move it back too far though, because I don't want it to go through the wall. Why is that cube so far outside there? That doesn't look right at all. Basically, my dream of having a fire lit in this room may be over faster than it starts. The fires don't fit in the fireplaces. That other one should have fit. It looked right. It really did. It was just too wide or something. Sometimes the load time on this is a little long when you're testing it. They said that they optimized it with the last patch. Oh god, my hair. Okay. No, this fire is all wrong. That's too crazy. That's too crazy. That's not going to work at all. But this is what I'm talking about. Once you get more familiar with the builder, you're going to know which fire fits in the fireplace without having to test everything so much. Then you just log in, make sure it's facing the right way, and I wonder if that might actually change things. Rotating it around is going to make it less intense. I mean, plus it's probably on the other side of the wall right here. Like, that just doesn't look right at all. This grid is kind of restrictive. Let's see. I wish there was a way to make it just the size you want. Alright, let's just go ahead and get rid of that one, and let's see if there's any other fires. Let's see. Fire effect. Death fire effect. I don't think that's what we want. What do we have in here? Yeah, I think we've sorted out most of the fires. And I thought that the furnace fire was going to be the right one. Fireflies, fire remnants. It's a fire remnant. I guess it's probably like small embers and a little smoke. Ooh, we could always have a fire that's going out, maybe. The smoke might not be good, though. All these places probably smell like smoke. Fog rolling, glowing. Let's see, hanging icy portal. That's perfect for the fireplace right there, I think. Yeah, I was looking for fireplace fire, and then I was looking for hearth fire, or any other word that you might come up with for fireplace, and I haven't found anything in here, so I don't know. I think that one might be the right one to use, but maybe I don't know how to edit it to get it to look right just yet. I guess it's possible in the 3D editor. Oh, wait, what is this? We've got rising flames. Let's try those next, I think. I'm just gonna keep looking real quick here. Let's see. Torches. Oh man, I can add some more light. Look at this. Torches. Indoor torches. Looks like varying degrees of brightness as well. And all those are probably going to need adjustments until I know how high the wall. Because I can't just enter the numbers. I'm not sure how high it would go. All right, yeah, let's just try rising flames. How big are these? This is probably going to be an absolute disaster. All right, I'm going to put it at room platform, and I don't know. Let's check it out. This is going to go well. It is. Rising flames sounds a bit tall, but that other one sounded smaller. And furnaces are usually smaller than that fireplace. GWUN. Well, what I'm doing right now, I was talking about this a little bit earlier, is while I'm learning the builder, I'm just doing an extreme basic quest. Like this quest right here is just, hey, I'm a bard. My friend the bard is captured. Go save him. I mean, it's a very simple, hey, I'm too wussy to go and save this friend of mine. Can you help me? Type of quest. And once I get the basics down of understanding how to complete a quest and make it work, then I think it would actually be pretty funny if we had a quest that was public that had everybody's names in it. So we could probably do something like that. Have a GWN and a horrible quest. It would probably be like the quest for Ham. I know most of us would approve of a quest for Ham. I mean, that's pretty much a staple around here. Alright, so let's see. Oh man, that's also too wide as well. That is not gonna work. Okay, so the logs that are in here, they must, you know what, they're already in the fireplace. All I need is a small fire animation. That's all I need. So a small fire. Okay, so the logs are already there. I think what we need to do is look for like the smallest tiny fire we can possibly find in the list. Because before we go out, let's check real quick and see if just see if we can make this smaller, because it is showing like this huge outside box here. Anyway, let's see if I rotate it around. I have translate, which is what I'm on, which I'm assuming has something to do with moving in directions. I pick different directions, but it doesn't look like I can actually change the size of stuff, because rotating it around is just kind of different angles for this stuff. I mean, this is so crazy. Like the idea that you can just move things in all kinds of crazy angles. But there's no size on here. What's this edit distance? This is. Didn't do anything. Maybe that's how far away from the object I need to be. Yeah, there's just nothing on there that's helpful. So let's look for a small fire. Yeah, I don't know what edit distance does. I'm guessing it has something to do with like proximity to the actual item that you're touching. So 3D, my goal really is to not do that much 3D editing. Only stuff that I absolutely can't do from the Foundry, because it takes so long. It really, like earlier I was adjusting all these chairs. Like you can see that there's a field of vision where the chair and the tables are facing, but knowing where the front is kind of difficult, because I had all these fields of vision thinking, well, hey, chairs should face the table, but that didn't work because the front of the chair is actually the side of the chair for some reason. So these on this side have to be facing north, these over here have to be facing south, and then of course the ends have to be facing west and east. It's very odd. It's very odd. You learn this as you go, because I logged in. First of all, my chairs were down inside the floor because I hadn't realized that you actually have to tell it to line up with room platform. So I went and did that, fixed it. It defaults to 0 altitude. And then secondly, I didn't realize that the chairs, like the front of the chair has been assigned as the side. And so each different object is going to have a different front face. You just got to learn what they are. So, alright, well, let's delete that. What I need is a very small fire, and it's not happening. I might just freak out. Let's see if it's in light, maybe. Let's turn off this. We'll go back in there. Static light campfire. Hold on. Maybe what I'm looking for is a light and not actually a fire. Maybe fire is too dramatic. Campfires are small. Dynamic light lava. I'm not sure if serious. Well, you know what we have to do? Let's take this one. I don't like this fog over here. Let's wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. Let's see what that looks like. It's gonna burn my table. Actually it won't. But that's fine. Alright, what is this? Dynamic light. A small flickering campfire. Orange flickering. You know what? I think this might be what we need. Although, no, look at that. That's not gonna work either. I just need the flame part. That's what I need. That's what I feel like about the Foundry is every little thing that you have to learn like this is trying to figure out which stuff works where. These are actually, they have boards and stuff in them. I don't really want like a pile of burning rubble or anything. This is cool though. Look, you can make certain rooms different colors. Like this is going to be really awesome if you want to have like a mysterious looking room that's blue. I am a fan of blue lights. So I'm going to have a room somewhere that's got blue lights. Maybe I can make Simon's room fancy with blue lights because he has a lot of money. This character is kind of rich and soft. He doesn't want to do anything himself. So maybe put some torches. Yeah, that might work too. That might work too. What is the... Oh, the plus and minus. It changes the scale of what it looks like to you. You know, actually 6 cubed. I wonder if that might not be just a preview of the item, if it actually changes the size of the item. I wonder. You might be onto something here. You know what? Let me try this. Let's go back to effects. Let's get this goddamn furnace fire. We're gonna get this thing. We're gonna test this. I'm all for testing out ideas. Because I thought it was just kind of like if you can't see it, but that might actually be a size. That might be a size changer, which is what I was looking for earlier with this. Dude, this could be awesome. Wait, no, there's no size changer in here. Damn you. Cost 2. Earlier I was getting messages about being over budget. Apparently, each room, you can see down here, I've never actually been over budget. I was getting the error message because I didn't have a map to place anything. So if you don't have a map to place things, you're over budget at 1. But what that means is I can place 1,500 points worth of detail, 500 points worth of, what is that, actor? I don't even know what that is. NPCs, I've got 50 points worth. Essentially, they give you a limit, because if you do more than that, I'm assuming that your quest would not run very well. Performance would be terrible. So really, putting all the basic stuff, then maybe a little bit of flair, but not too much is the goal here. Man, that's so disappointing. I thought we were onto something with that. But we should still test it on something that does have a slider. Let's see. None of these effects have sliders, which is a shame. Because that's really what I needed to do. I need it to be a little smaller. And these, okay, well since we can change it, we had, this one was ginormous, right? We did static, it was the static lava, or dynamic light lava, this is the one we used, okay. So we can test this out pretty obviously right now. Let's just make it as small as it can be. Okay, yeah, it does look like all it is a zoom for you, but let's go in and see if these look any different. Actually, I should move this one somewhere else, like here, so that it doesn't interfere with our lava geyser, which is our current mascot. Alright, so let's go in here. A lot of stuff to learn about this builder. I think just with a lot of experimenting, you will get used to it, and the more you mess with it, the better you get. So for me, my challenge number 1 is fire. This reminds me of playing Minecraft. The hardest thing for me to figure out by myself for some reason was a torch. Okay, I would say that these things are the same size. Yeah, I don't think that, because the smaller one was supposed to be on this side over here, and they pretty much look identical. So, unfortunately that slider was not what I was hoping it was going to be, but it was what I assumed it to be, which is just a way to zoom in on the item and look at it a little bit closer up. So, man, these things are ridiculous. Alright, let's get rid of those. We have enough lava in our inn, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so again, there could be a way in here to resize things. I don't know what it is yet, if there is. And that's That's kind of what I'm looking for with fire. So let's. Is there anything else? Weapons, walls, plants, building pieces. I guess that's like the roof and stuff. What else would be in here? Chasm prop stairs. City wall segment. Man, there's so much stuff. Some of this stuff is probably pretty big too. Look at that. You can just put. Oh my god. So much stuff. There's so much stuff in this. Like every time I experiment with it, I can just tell that I would be able to spend hours and hours and hours messing with this. That there is, all of your time could be completely gone just playing around with this builder. And if you're the DM type, you will like it once you figure it out, of course. Because right now, I mean, it's a little frustrating that I can't just go, hey, I want a fire. Why can't I put a fire in here? So at some point, maybe that's just like too small of a hearth, or you just have to have the fire outside of it. Because come to think of it, aren't the fires kind of intense in this game? Like, I'm trying to remember the last time I went into a tavern or an inn. Now I'm kind of curious. Let's test the story from the beginning, because what I want to do is go to the actual tavern that's in the Protector's Enclave. Oh man, the beginning of my quest is not working right. Hang on one second. Oh, I know why. I think it's starting me... Where is it starting me? Too deep in the floor. Okay, hang on a second. I had this problem earlier. If you need to be able to start... Let's see. It might be easier to just start in here and go out, because I don't have the beginning of the story working at the moment. Alright, so let's do this. We're gonna go back out to the Protector's Enclave. Insta death. Oh yeah, you can kill people. This is why testing your quest is a good idea, because you don't really want to start them in the wall. That is a bad idea, and I don't really understand why it gets like this. Like, I might have to, okay, there we go. It was still assuming that I was in the wall from before. Alright, so we're gonna talk to Simon, and we're just gonna... Are you Simon Fields? Just get to the point. What's in it for me? Sure. Alright. Okay, now that that's done, so you can see him doing all of his emotes as I'm talking to him. Now we can leave. It's very bare bones here for me. We're gonna leave and go back out to Protector's Enclave. Instant death. That would be actually a pretty good troll quest, and everybody would rate your quest like a 0. Let's see. Where is the tavern in town? It is... Let's see, I think it's down here somewhere.
Invoke your patron deity, and you shall be rewarded.
I swear that there was one in town. Driftwood Tavern. 7? Oh, yeah, this is it. Very odd. I don't really know why it's telling me to go do this collecting reward stuff yet, because I have not added any of that. But that's where I want to go. So, let's go over there. I like following these, the sparklies around too. Something else to test in your quest, because sometimes certain doors in town, the sparkly line telling people where to go, it points to the wrong spot. And I've just noticed that some of the doors don't work as well as they should, which is probably why most quests start on the same doors. If you guys have tried any Foundry stuff, you'll see that a lot of them start in the same place. One that I found pretty funny lately is, it's like this ogre kill battle. It starts in boxes near the marketplace. You just click on the boxes and it says something like, press F to 50 ogres. It's pretty high quality stuff. But hey, if you're in the mood to grind, yes, I'm still in the Foundry. This is not the real world at all. But you can access stuff that's... Man, this character's so slow. You can access stuff that's already in the game that normal characters can get to. Like, for example, the tavern. So we're gonna go in it. What I want to see is what the fireplace looks like in here. Wait a minute. This is actually a fire circle. I wonder... Tell me where you get this fire. It kind of looks like they added some extra logs to it. Maybe that is a campfire. Maybe they put a campfire on top of it. I don't know. What is that? Well, let's see. Can I edit what's in here? Probably not, because this is not mine. This is stuff that I cannot edit. That's a shame. I just want to see what this is called. Let's see. Get away, NPCs. Yeah, I can't inspect what that is. That would be really cool if there was a way to, like, look and see what all the objects were called on this map. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay, so they do have a fire that's not completely insane and sticking through everything. Of course, I don't know if this one's sticking out the back. I wonder where the back of this building is. Obviously, it's not. Either that or they've covered it up. And this is pretty hilarious. The reward to my quest is in here for some reason. Probably because this is the default location, and I've not actually set where the chest should be, which, I mean, I will at the end of the quest when I get there, so what happens? Oh, hey, a green. That's awesome. Hey, I got a green. Okay. Yeah, you can actually set that. You can change the level of your tester. Essentially, it starts at level 1, then you can test it at 10 or 11, 21, 31. So I'm not really actually sure how to put gear on your tester at this point yet. I haven't done that. So, all right, let's get out of here. We're gonna just forget it. We're going to the Foundry. Yes. Okay. Well, this fire debate it's got me questioning which one to use. I guess it's just this. It says 18 by 18 feet tall. That's huge. Outdoor fire. 1 foot by 1 foot tall. Medium outdoor. I guess I need an outdoor fire, and I just need it to be this small one then. Let's see. No smoke. 1 foot by 1 foot. Oh, maybe this isn't bad. Maybe I'm reading too much into it and looking for an indoor fire of some sort, when actually all I need is this, because we've already established the logs are in there, right? So let's try this one. Alright, but anyway, yeah, what I was saying is you see this respec up here? You can choose what class you are, and you can choose the level that you're playing as well. So, while delete and clear room would be bad things to accidentally click on unless you've saved everything. Yeah, let's try the small one, no smoke. Let's see what that looks like. But look at that level of detail, that you can put a small fire in with smoke, with no smoke. Yeah, I guess so. I think my character's level 32. I don't know, that might be something you could test out, because you have a level, what, 40-something character? Maybe you should see if you can actually spec into a 41. Of course, I don't know, you probably have no interest in Foundry at all. Oh man, I forgot to line it up. Okay, hang on. Still getting used to this part in here. We have to always put it on room platform, because if we don't, that weirdness right there is going to happen. Alright, so let's go back in. 51. Man, you're a leveling beast, is what you are. Hey Jadrui, how are you? See, this is beneficial. When our schedule's messed up, you guys get to watch us at different times. I've given up all hope of restoring my schedule until next week. Oh man, this is looking pretty good. That looks good. It's not in the right place, but we can fix that with let's see, with our Control Tab 3D editing. So let's see. Select this object, and we want to let's move it catty corner this way. That looks like it's right in the middle of the fireplace, but is it really? We don't know now, do we? So let's look. This thing is it's very suspicious. Okay. Hey Zulu, how are you this morning? This afternoon for you, I think. Yeah, it should be afternoon for you. Greetings and welcome to Game With Us, where we are Game with us. Actually, Apocrypha's at work, so it's just game with me right now. But it's game with us as a community. Okay, almost. I think I could probably move it back just a little bit more. I do kind of wish it would show me a preview of what's happening here, but unfortunately it does not. Okay, so let's move it. Move it up. I'm gonna move it just back a little bit. That might be too far. Talk about detail. Yep, I'm in the Foundry right now, and I'm testing it out because it looks pretty powerful. I know nothing about it, and I've been telling people I've played it for about 4 to 5 hours, having no real experience with any kind of like level editors. Well, that's not bad. Let's see if I pushed it through the wall or not. This is very important. You don't really want your wall to be burning. And it's not. It's not. It's not the most robust fire, but it's small. I wanted a small fire. So I think we have a success. We have a fire. It is functioning. This is what we wanted. It took a little while though because we were looking for an indoor fire or some kind of fireplace fire, and the correct one apparently was small outdoor fire, no smoke. Who knew, right? Who knew? Well, that doesn't look too bad. I'm a hero. I'm a Foundry hero. It's a miracle. It's more like a Christmas miracle. I don't know that this is very heroic. So, alright. We now have our fire. That's kind of weird looking placement right there. But, I'm just going to leave it the hell alone. And we're going to save. And I still need to figure out why the beginning of my quest is killing people sometimes. I think when I load it and then I start from some weird location and then I try to start it from the beginning, it does that. I'm not really sure why yet. So, but alright, so this is pretty good. How do we copy this? I want to duplicate this object. And I want to pull it down here. Oh, man, I wish I could. You cannot drag this map around because I have another fireplace over here. And apparently it's going to need some adjustment. Well, let's see. Where is this one? Because this one's in a weird place. See, it's kind of in the back corner. So maybe let's try the same theory over here. That kind of looks like the back corner, right? Too far, and it's going to go out of the wall. So we'll try there. And which direction do we have this one facing? I think we just left it at default. It's facing north. So let's see. This one is, we're just going to leave it there. Let's see what that looks like. It'll say, press F to stoke the fire, and then you stoke the fire and goblins spawn. See, that is actually a really good idea. People would not be expecting that. You could have like a fire elemental or something come out of the fire. Maybe if somebody stokes the fire too much, give them the option to stoke it 5 times, and one time, even if they're role players, punish them for stoking the fire. See, that's like a cruel DM thing to do, but actually it's not a bad idea. Maybe if an NPC told you to do that because you had to for a quest reason. Look at that. It's in the correct place. You guys see that? It's in the exact same place. I'm guessing that putting it in that corner worked, so you win some immediately, you lose some immediately. That looks great. I wonder if you can cover up these windows to make these floor glares go away. So while I like the light, I don't like the floor glare. It looks terrible. I want to see the fire. I want this to be like a nice, intimate room where there's like hard wooden benches for people to socialize on. I need like comfy chairs. I don't think this game has anything comfy looking, actually. Nothing at all. Alright, well, get the fire in the right place. Where was that other fire? Was it upstairs or... Oh, it's out here. Okay, well this one's going to be a little trickier. Might try this one as well. Take some time getting used to this stuff. Put a wall in the room? Yeah, there's walls. All sorts of stuff. I don't really know. My objective with this quest mostly is just trying to just learn everything. And look, that's on 0 altitude. I really need to have it be on the floor. I thought that copying it would copy all the settings. Apparently, that's not the case. close this. Let's move this over here. We're gonna go put this fire. Okay. So, looks like if we take this new one and we put it here, I don't know about that, if that's gonna line up right or not. There's no telling where's the back of this fireplace. This one, it feels like a gamble. 'Cause see, this is logically where it looks like it should go, but these don't work that way at all. They don't actually have it lined up. Well, maybe we can try it. Maybe this one's bigger than the others. Let's take a gamble and put it here, and like that one copied room platform just fine. I wonder why. I copied that other one, and it made it 0 altitude for some reason. Platform is 2.05. That's 0.5 above the floor. Alright. Well, let us check and see what this looks like over here now. This could be too much. I'm just curious, to be honest. Yeah, the lighting might be, we might not be able to change it, which is fine. It'll be something I check because I don't even know if there's curtains. I mean, are there curtains in here, or like you're saying, put a wall in the way? Like, can you block such things? Whoa! Hey, look, it's actually in the right place. But boy, that's a lot of fire. It might be too much fire. And actually, something I should check while I'm out here is because I moved this one back up the proper level. I want to see if it's more crazy blazing. Still looks okay. Maybe this one I didn't actually. That one I didn't move up. See, that one's under the floor, just a little bit. That could be a trick if you want your fire to be a little less intense, is lowering it down. But I think we have a mistake over here. We have a mistake. That's a little bit too much fire. Let's get out of here. You would think maybe you could, I don't know if you can take windows out altogether, but covering them up would probably work. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, probably lower these under the floor. If I leave them, and actually instead of doing that, how we can adjust the position exactly. I wonder what 0 altitude actually is, because it doesn't tell you. Because that will move them both down. I'm thinking it might not be enough fire. We take them both out, it'll just be kind of like a very calm, missing looking fire. Like this one, yeah, that's the problem over here. We want it to be a little bit brighter. I really wish you could scroll the map around. I try to scroll it around with my mouse constantly. Oh wait, okay, you can. Middle mouse button scrolls this. Excellent. Excellent. Always discovering stuff by accident. I'm more of a doer when it comes to this stuff. Like, I just jump in and just try things. I do like tutorials though that are well written, but I could not find any that I was happy with. I couldn't find it. I had a couple videos where people were just the level of advancement. They didn't go over basic stuff like how do you add a map, how do you add an object. It's when I was starting, so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have to figure it out. It's still too bright. Alright, we're just gonna do one here. I'm gonna do one. Delete that, and I guess we'll move this back up and just see what that looks like. But it's more practical since I'm just learning stuff. I'm looking at each thing that I'm adding in. I actually put the tables and chairs in together, but setting up a whole room and then logging in and taking notes of what needs to be changed is probably the best idea. That way you don't have to load so many times. But right now, this fire issue has been insane, and so we're just trying to make it work. Okay, well, this is probably something where you would want to go in and do 3D editing because the grid doesn't quite do what we want it to do. It doesn't quite line it up because it's putting it too far over here on the edge. So yeah, I think let's test that edit distance too, Osiris, because I think, let's see, edit distance. Well, where did it go? Okay. I don't know what edit distance does. Because it's still, it looks like I have to be pretty close to the object that I want to mess with. So I don't know what that is. I have to edit. I'm gonna have to find out what that does. I'm going to look it up. Mousing over some of the stuff tells you, but like this, none of this stuff tells you. All the stuff in the Foundry kind of has like a note as to what it does, but this doesn't. I don't know why. Wait, that's not what I want to do. Do that. I can't see it too well. Stay zoomed in either. The cube likes disappearing on me as well. It's very awkward. That's what I want, is this arrow. Oh, I'm on rotate. That would be why. We want it to be on translate. That's the simple problem we're having here. So we can kind of put it right in the middle. It's so hard to see where it is though. I think it actually needs to go back. I was pulling it forward, but it doesn't. It needs to be behind these bars, but kind of in the middle. Okay. It looks so high. I wonder. Isn't supposed to be like that. It's so strange. It's so strange. Yeah, under the floor it does kind of look like it's a tame fire. Somebody's been neglecting it. It adds character, you know, to try and put some of them a little lower. So, hey, look at that. Why is it like, I don't know why it's so high in the air. Doesn't make any sense. I'm sure it has something to do with messing with that zero altitude, but exactly what, I don't know. Alright, so what we were looking at was, it appears to be too high, like where it's actually sitting, you can kind of see the 3D level. It's not supposed to be there. It's too high. So we're going to have to adjust. Let's go down a little bit more than that. And I tell you what, this angle is just not good. Alright, so let's put it. Let's put it way down there. No, that's too far. Okay. That's pretty good. And that's a little bit under the floor, so that might actually do what we need it to do. Let's see how intense that looks. Enjoy your dinner, Osiris. I shall never see you again. For Osiris, getting dinner is code for disappearing. Although sometimes we see him again. Do enjoy your dinner, sir. Right. Almost. We've almost got this, because it's coming out of the fireplace a little bit too much, so we want to slide it back. Get this blue highlighting, and we want this blue line. I'm going to put it right there. And this better goddamn be right. I know. It's easy to get distracted. It really is. And we're probably not going to have a long morning here anyway, because they're going to be doing maintenance in about an hour, I think. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure when maintenance is coming up. I think they said 9 o'clock Pacific, which maybe it's in an hour or two from now. If it's 9 o'clock, it's 2 hours from now. If it's not 9 o'clock, I don't know. But obviously, I'm not going to be online while they're doing maintenance. So I may switch over and do some quests. I'm like level 31, level 32, something like that. I still have quests in my log that are 14 because I decided that I wanted to have more fun grinding for XP than doing quests. That's what I was in the mood to do, and so that's pretty much how it went down. Right, that's pretty close. I think I can just leave that the hell alone because it's a tame fire. Maybe it's sticking out a little bit too much, but that's fine. So I think that's good. I still have a lot of stuff to learn about the editor as far as functioning, but I think we're starting to get a handle on placing objects. I think for fun, the last object we should test in here, because we were talking about torches, is pulling a torch out and seeing how difficult it is to place those. So, let's see, where is somewhere that's nice and dark? I guess this room over here, this area is kind of dark. Beam fire burning. Oh, wow. Man, there's so much stuff in here that I just want to play with and see what it looks like. I have to resist. I will never get my project done if I just keep looking at things. It may give you ideas, though. When you look at the tools, sometimes you see something, you're like, wow, that blue light would be perfect for a wizard's room, or I could light a crystal ball, maybe. That makes me wonder, is there a crystal ball in this game? I have seen purple crystal balls on wizard tables, so it's possible that there is one, actually, in here somewhere. Alright, so we had a torch. Let's go looking for that. Static light wall torch. Wow, that one is large. It says 11 by 11 feet. I think that's a little larger than what we're looking for. We're looking for something smaller. 14 by 14 feet. No, we have not tried it yet, Jedrui. We have it, but we have not tried it. That pretty much sums up our entire existence with games. We have that game. We haven't tried it. Mostly because we don't have time to try it. We have to pick. I have too much stuff. And I just got the Humble Bundle too, so now I've got 3 more Double Fine games that I actually have Costume Quest on the PS3, but I have never had time to beat it on there, and I thought, well, hey, why not buy the Humble Bundle and maybe I'll have time to play some stuff. All I've done so far is get through the very beginning part of Psychonauts. I've not even actually really gotten to the meat of that game. It looks interesting. I'm not sure if it's my style, though. Yeah, all these torches are huge. Wall torches. Don't they have like a small torch or something? Let's see. Let's see any. Let's see. What is this? These are lights for the wall, but they're not torches technically. Right. Well, we need to see what this is because it seems awful large. Static light, 11 by 11. Seems to be. This is this. I think this is the smallest one, but no, that's not quite what we're looking for. Oh, maybe that is. Why is it so large seeming? I don't know. Let's see what this is. And I'm not even going to do any adjustments to it. Let's just see. North facing. Ginormous 11 by 11, 11 foot tall torch. The co-op is awesome. Yeah, that's one of the reasons we got it, so I figure it's on the list to try. What we usually do when we have games, especially if we're going to stream them, we try them and make sure they work, and that the gameplay style works with both of our play. And if it does, that is not what I was thinking it would be. That seems awful huge. But then we bring them online. Sometimes they don't work for streaming at all. It depends on XSplit too. But we are going to try it at some point. Okay, well I guess we need to see. Obviously that needs to be attached to the wall because it's got some kind of beam. I don't know about that thing. That's not really. When I think of torch, that's not really what I'm thinking of. I mean, it's not quite what I was going for, but it does look like it lit up this corner nicely. Well, let's move it up. Yes, and over. See it touch the wall there, go into the wall. That looks pretty good, I think. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it looks like it's for some like really tall, large place. Like this is just, I just wanted kind of a very small wooden torch, or I mean even like a small sconce or something, just small. I was thinking small would be good. This is just, like that's overkill, right? Say you come into this inn. I think seeing that in the corner might be about as disturbing as seeing the lava explosion in the corner back here. Drew, have you seen our lava explosion yet? Can you turn it upside down? Yes, I'm sure I can turn it upside down. That would probably be pretty disturbing too. It would be like a way to reset your hairdo. Our inn is very safe. We have a lava geyser here in the corner at the moment, just exploding around. Alright, so yeah, you can turn this stuff upside down. That's rotating it around. Build a rocket. It could be like a hair dryer if we turn it upside down. We'll put it at like head level for people, and you can walk over and instantly dry your hair, assuming that all the coal hasn't already fallen out. How that would function, I don't know. That would be kind of a bad idea, I think. I'm all about bad ideas. Okay, well that is not appropriate. That's interesting. There is a light up here, so I wonder why it's so dark in this corner normally. Let's just say, let's delete that. So I guess if I need a light, it's gonna have to be something else. Let's see. Respawn point. Respawn point is good. You know, I think I need those. I don't think anybody's gonna die in this room, but if they did. Let's see, ambush, guardian, sniper, door, place marker. Volume that can trigger events or objective upon completion. Oh, that's one of those, you've seen them, they're kind of like a sparkly arch, and when you walk through them, something could happen. You can set something to happen in those. Now that's a powerful tool, where somebody can just walk into that and have something happen. Push. Man, that's very dangerous sounding. Customizable sound object. Oh man, I guess we would need sound. I mean, technically, there's not really a lot of sound going on while I've been doing this, but like, you probably can add ambient sounds. Let's see. That would work. Sound. There we go. Look at this. There is a category for ambient sound. And you can have... Oh man, you know what we should do? First we should delete this, and we should add an ambient sound for our fireplace down here, because we've got a fire. So let's see. It looks like you can put the sound. I can't line it up exactly. So let's kind of put it just slightly in the front, or maybe it makes sense to put it as close as we can. Let's do it there. And let's see. We've got ambient sound. Please let there be one just called fire. Oh, there is not. Okay, so there's another category. Let's see. Music. Sound effect. Oh my god, this is so detailed. Are you guys seeing the level of detail? True. Nothing much here. Just a little lava bursting through the floor. Watch your step. Tourists to the left. Everyone we don't like to the right. That's where the fire and the lava go that way. Alright, let's see. Yeah, actually there is fire. Here we go. Fire dousing. Fire lighthouse. Okay, none of this seems correct. That's a bit explosive. Maybe it's called something fancy like crackling fire. Crowd panic. Distant. Crowd panic and fire. Yes, crowd panic and fire. This is perfect for my inn. My lava inn of destruction. I must think about this further. My god, you could do so much crazy stuff. It's a coughing sound. Can't hear it at all. Smoke. Okay, we've got, what do we have? Emotes. Fireball. That didn't sound very inspiring. Can't believe there's not like just a fire in here. Like, there must be somewhere. Okay, you know, now we're just gonna I don't know what category it's in, so we're just gonna look at any, and we want it to be looping because the fire is not gonna go out. So let's see. There must be something. Flies buzzing. Fire torches. Okay, here we go. I have no idea what category these things are in. It just must be their general category. Okay, roaring. Random. Well, that's a little strong. Emote, crack. What's next? Heroin. And that'd be pretty funny, actually. I think you can actually have your characters, they do a cough emote. Like, they actually cough into their hands and look sickly. So you can do that too. Like, there's so many things you can do with your NPCs emote-wise. It really brings everything to life. Like, if you want people to come into a room and everybody's injured and laying on stretchers and that kind of stuff, you actually can tell them what body position they're laying in and what they're doing. Hopefully there's nothing like vomiting. Probably is, though. I'm kind of afraid. Alright, well that fire sounds a bit much. I think roaring is probably so much. Where is it? Okay, there's gotta be like fire small here, right? There we go, fire small. Wait, I can't even hear that at all now. Large? I don't know. I guess fire... Oh wait, fireplace. Look, there's a fireplace option, guys. It's got a lot of crackling. Well, we sort of have the fire a little dim. We dimmed this one, didn't we? I can't remember. Let's make that. It's gonna be very subtle. We don't want it to be too overwhelming and loud. Oh wow, look, there's a distance circle on this one. Oh man, that is really cool. So that means we can actually take this and move it this way. Because we don't, like, nobody's gonna be back here in the wall, so if we want our fire sound to reach the middle of the room, this is as far as this one goes, essentially. So it would make kind of sense to do it that way, I guess. And now let's look and see what kind of ambient sound can we have in here. Now obviously there's no NPCs in here to be talking, so it's kind of ridiculous to add this now, but let's see how big the circle is. I guess I didn't realize that you had to pick the sound to see how much actual area it covers. So, oh man, the Foundry, it is cool. Like, when I first saw it, it overwhelmed me completely. I spent about a half hour in here just my eyes googling around because I'm like, this is so much and I have no idea what to do in here. But this morning I decided to give it another go and stuck it out. I'm like, I have to just keep clicking on things until I figure out how to get this started. And I can't wait until I'm a little bit more proficient at this. Right now, each thing that I'm adding is like a brand new experience. It's like, well, how do I customize this? And how do I customize that? It's everything. We want to have, let's see. Let's see if there's something like, let's see if there's like Tavern in here. Tavern Ambient 2. N1. That's good. Let's see how big the circle is. Oh, I wonder if this is like for the whole room. So we didn't get a circle in this one. I guess ambient could be for the whole building. Almost makes sense to put things for the whole building, kind of in the start area. I guess if I had a settings area where I was going to set things and had a bunch of different things for the whole building, I would group them together. So at this point I only have this sound. So let's, I don't know if we can actually hear this or not. Let's go in, see if there's a difference. How much can you customize mobs? Well, so far I've only customized NPCs as far as like the non-player character sense of like elves and dwarves and that sort of thing. I've not messed with monsters at all yet, the ones that you actually fight, but I've seen different foundries having been in them, and you can basically pick any costume, which is basically a skin, and then you can color it the way you want it. It's a lot like the NPCs. You basically tell them what to look like. So, I don't know, we'll have to look at monsters. Maybe I should add one, and we'll see how it works, because I have no idea. It might not work well, because I've not had a chance to figure it out, but let's see. Not actually hearing any background music, and I think this might be because my volume settings are bad in here. Gotta get rid of some of these injuries in this poor character. Alright, let's see. Music volume. Just not hearing anything with it. Let me listen to my test machine and just see if it's not coming through my machine right or if it's just me. Okay, there is music in the background, it's just super, super low. Alright, let's just turn this up to 100. Weird. Still listening to it, testing it here. Well, we can hear it better now. Listen to that very stereotypical medieval sounding tavern music. It makes me want to introduce my bard characters. You can't be a bard in this game yet, but if you could, I would be all over that. Alright, let's see. Okay, well, I guess we'll run it at 100. I can sort of hear it. I don't know, is it super loud, you guys? The music's not obnoxious to you guys, right? Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, if something too loud comes up, just let me know. But it looks like it's okay for now. Alright, so let's go over to the fire. I have to turn this up as well. I really hate to turn the effects up because some of that stuff, oh man, it's so bad. Like I was doing skirmishes the other day and there's just this one FX noise that's louder than everything else. It's louder than all things. Yeah, I can hear it crackling. Let's see. I think what I might do when I'm actually testing this stuff for real before I would publish it is adjust my sound so that everything is at 100%, or at least that all the sounds are equal, because what I have to do for casting is a little bit different than what normal people are running on the machine. Like if you're just playing the game, your sound settings probably do not look like mine, which are completely like, I mean, look, who runs the game with all this weird stuff like this? Like some people, they want their battle noise turned all the way up, and then they'll just adjust all the sound sliders with the overall volume. That way, I'll be able to tell, you know, what's properly adjusted, because I don't want it to, you know, I want people to actually be able to hear the fire over the tavern sounds. But that's pretty cool, though. I think just as a quick test, I could turn this up. Do this to like 100 for a second. It should be pretty obnoxiously loud if it's on this. Oh, you know what? I think the music volume might be more affected too by the ambient volume, because that whole tavern noise was under ambient. So I always turn ambient down in games when I play it, because some of those repetitive sounds are so loud. Like you just, especially if it's crickets or something. Interesting. Well, for now, the sound doesn't matter, but it is good that that's in there, so you can place sounds around for people to experience what they're looking at. That makes a lot of sense. I think in addition to this sound, something else that would be cool to have in here, I'll get this back down around 30, would be placing the like the talking noises, you know, where people are like shuffling around, conversation, that sort of chord. Oh, I know, that Astral Diamonds woman. She's got to be one of the most annoying NPCs. If you're standing anywhere near her, you know, it's constant. Spend your Astral Diamonds. And you're like, I know, stop, we know you're there. We can get to your menu anywhere in the game. We don't even need to visit you. I usually laugh at the guy that walks by that says, should have stayed in Luskin. He's my favorite NPC that just repeats himself over and over again. So yeah, there should be like another sound in here that's going to be an overall like ambient sound that would be, I don't know, let's see. Oh, that one's humanoid. Maybe. Well, let's see. Ambient is the whole place. So is there also like talking? Let's see. In crowd. What in the world is this one? This doesn't even make sense. That sixth one sounded better than the second one. This second one is just like this crazy. This sounds like some crazy dwarf ritual going on here or something. What is this? I don't know. I would probably use this one. It's not as crazy as that other one. Oh my god. That's right. Spam, 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 spam. Lovely spam. And that's pretty much what's going on there. I think you called that one, Zulu. Man. See, now my original idea is to add all kinds of like Star Wars references that fit in. Now, not necessarily in this test quest, because I'm actually going to publish a very benign, boring, fast quest for people to do. Maybe at the most it'll take them 15 minutes, but I'm thinking more along the lines of one of those 5-10 minute quests. Make sure everything works, make sure that I can actually do a quest, and then I think it'd be kind of cool to do like something that involves game with us somehow. Like I think we could use like our usernames. You know, like I could put somebody in the game called Chase Jadrui, you know, or something like that. We can have characters named after us that are just kind of in here, and maybe they'll be talking about Star Wars. Maybe they'll be talking about Monty Python. Maybe. The goal is though to make those phrases kind of fit what's happening. One of my favorite things that people say in the old Star Wars movies is when they go, "I've got a bad feeling about this," because you can work that in almost anywhere. And when people read it and hear it, they think the stuff from the Star Wars movies, because it was used so much and it was very iconic at the time. Of course, then again, people kind of have to be in the right age group to have seen Star Wars, so the very young may not have, but still. Yeah, I think Jadrui's character would probably be Darth Jadrui. You want to be a hobbit? I should make a note of that now, because I'm going to need some ideas when I start doing that quest. And I do want to put different races and stuff in. This is not going to be like the all elf all the time quests. We want to have hobbits and various other stuff. And I do hope that I don't lose interest in this before I get to finish something like this, because this, honestly, learning the Foundry is a lot of work. Like at this point, the time that I've spent has just it feels like I'm learning something for university. Like I actually sit here and think, okay, wow, I've learned something. This is extremely complicated. My God. So, all right, Jadru, I'm noting you down that you are a hobbit. Are you sure you don't want to be a dwarf? You know, I totally would have made you a dwarf instantly, just based on your beard alone. But you know, a hobbit with a Darth Vader complex might be good too. 6 Cube the Ham Lord. I don't know how I'm gonna work your name in, because one of the things I have to do is try to make this role play. So 6 Cubed definitely sounds like a rogue handle or something. You know, just call me 6 Cubed. I'm already seeing that you might be like a very shady guy, Ham Lord. Probably keep all the ham to yourself as well. Oh man, the chat. Have you seen this, Zulu? Have you actually gone in and looked at any of the dialogue tree capability? I mean, it looks like any other editor. You essentially have all these branches that you can make. When I first started this, I had branches within branches within branches, and I very quickly realized that in doing that, I was repeating myself a lot. Like people would end up at the same point all the time, and I'm like, well, this conversation really isn't that deep. The beginning of mine is you go into this inn, you're looking for this guy, you're responding to his posting for help, and essentially you're trying to talk to him to determine whether or not you want to help him. That's pretty much all that's going on. So he's like, hey, you're an adventurer, help me. Are you going to help me? How about if you help me? And so then he's kind of explaining what happened. It's not very, it's more of a linear conversation. So I only put in a couple of options. I had the tree where people